Happy Wonder Wednesday, everyone, and welcome back to our Floxies community. I hope that you're doing well wherever in the world you're joining us from today. And actually, if you're watching our live stream, let me know in the chat. Send me a hello, tell me where you're joining us from and whether you're part of this amazing community. And if this is your first time here, we're Floxies. We're an international community for women in UX UI design and Webflow. And we come together every Wednesday to host these free webinars and live streams to make sure that our members can better navigate the design and the Webflow space. Because it doesn't matter whether you've got 20 years of experience or 20 days in the field. Trust me, there's not going to be a day pass by without you learning something new. And so that's why we try to keep our members always up to speed with our events here at Floxies. I can see, yay, we have some messages in the chat. Melissa joining from Spain. Hi, Melissa, it's great to see you here. And also, I'll be keeping track of the chat. We're currently broadcasting to YouTube, LinkedIn, and Twitter, or X, however you like to call it these days. And so, yeah, bear with me. I always say that I like for our events to be as interactive as possible. So do use the chat, do interact with our community. If you're a member of the Floxies, you can join us directly into our Gather, which is our virtual office where we host our streams. And so to show you what that looks like, here it is. So right now, what you can see is our co-working space where we also host weekly co-working opportunities every Monday. And so I'm now going to walk into our auditorium where our guests are waiting for me. And I can see we already have a few Floxies joining, so that's amazing. Hello, everyone. Happy Wonder Wednesday. I was just giving my quick intro to the world of the internet. And I'm now really excited to see that our guests are still having a good time on the stage, having a cute little dance. And it's great to see you guys. And welcome to our Floxies that are joining us here today. For today's topic, we don't have one, we don't have two, three, we have four guests joining us from the LottieFiles team. And so welcome to Beatrice, Celcea, Yamin, and Kenneth. Welcome to our guests. And I would like to introduce you guys, but maybe because there's four of you, I'm just going to give you 1 minute each. And for today's topic, we are having a look at LottieFiles, of course, because if you're in the design space, I'm sure you've come across LottieFiles, but if you haven't, where have you lived? I don't know, but you'll get a chance to learn all about it today. We're going to be looking into from creation into implementation, and so how to create a Lottie using Figma, one of our favorite design tools, and then implementing it into Webflow, which is of course one of our favorite development tools. But before we get into that, I would just like to maybe give the mic, pass on the mic to who do I have here? Celcea. Hello.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having us here. I'll just make it very quick. I'm Celcea. I'm taking care of all things brand at LottieFiles. Currently, I'm residing in Malaysia.
Amazing. It's great to have you here with us, Celcea. And we had a chance to have a quick look around the map and the office earlier before going live. And so I hope that Celcea will be joining us for one of our co-working sessions.
I will actually. The nature of LottieFiles, like we're working from anywhere, so we would love to have that, human touch sometimes.
Absolutely. Well, the space, we're a very friendly community. You're more than welcome to join us. And
Oh, thank you.
absolutely. And then we have Ken, motion designer, Webflow expert. Hello, Ken.
Hello, everyone. Good evening from Indonesia. I'm Ken, and I will be showing how we can do activity in Webflow. That's pretty much it. Thank you.
Amazing. Super happy to have you here. Do you know that there's a community called Flownesia? One of our one of our Floxies ambassadors, Yuna, she's part of that community. And yeah, it's great to see.
Yeah.
Great to see this little cluster of Webflow developers forming all over the world. It's really beautiful. Welcome, Ken. And we then have Beatrice, product manager.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having us here. I'm so excited. My name is Beatrice, and I'm a product manager, meaning I help help support the teams that develop your favorite tools, like LottieFiles for Figma, LottieFiles for Canva, LottieFiles for Webflow, all of which that we're gonna show you little glimpses of today. Feel free to reach out, ask any questions that you want. I love meeting new people, and
So
I
go
also
ahead and spam.
yeah.
Amazing, Beatrice. That is so exciting to have you here. Thank you for all the hard work that you've been doing as well with with the team at Lottie. We're absolutely big fan of the work you do, so it's great to have you here. And I'll be sharing your your favorite socials on in our chat so that people can actually go ahead and connect with you. And last but not least, we have Yamin, Global Partnership Lead. I like how you crossed out the hero word. Is
Yeah,
the
someone here there. I don't know who it was, but I'm pretty sure it was Chris, but yeah. No, so these guys do all the cool stuff. What I do is the uncool stuff, which is finding places where these guys can actually talk. But I sometimes I design, sometimes I code as well. But I leave the cool stuff to these guys. So really excited to be here and we have fun today. And I'm dancing on stage, so I'm good.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're sorted. I've given you like a glass of prosecco, you're dancing. I mean, this is not your usual event, I would say. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. And so I guess we can get started with the presentation.
Awesome. Okay, I'm going to start us off first by introducing all just a little bit to LottieFiles. I typically like to have a little bit of interactivity. I'm not sure how it's going to work on the live stream aspect, but Claudia, you could probably help. But how many of us here have actually come across or used LottieFiles? Could give
Yeah, let
me
us know. Yeah, maybe react, you can use the
yeah.
emojis at the bottom of your gather. Maybe give us, yeah, Nasra's used it, Lauren. If you're watching from social media, let us know in the chat. Have you heard about Lottie Files? If
Yeah.
not, why not? Awesome.
It's totally okay. Um, because admittedly, even though I have a background as a web developer, it took me an embarrassingly long time to figure out, okay, there's this huge community and huge resource called LottieFiles, and we've basically developed starting from a community of um, animation contributors, so people putting up the animations for free for anyone to use for any projects, commercial or otherwise. And we started from there, and we created this entire ecosystem to help designers as well as non-designers like myself to put motion in your everyday design. So motion used to be kind of like an afterthought, right? But now it's a very core part in the design. Every little thing needs to have some sort of transition, some sort of micro interactivity. So this was how it used to be. We maybe fit in an animation here or there if we remember it, but now it's a key part of prototyping. So a lot of you might have come across Figma every now and again, and that's what got Figma really big on the map as well, like the prototyping piece where you can put in all of your little animations and transitions. So understanding this, we want to make it as easy as possible for anybody who wants to have any sort of motion on any platform really to implement that motion, create that motion, and just bring a little bit of spark into our everyday lives. And all of this is possible because of a little file format called Lottie. If you don't know what a Lottie is yet, that's totally okay. I didn't know what that was either, but it is a tiny little format that allows you to display basically animations based on SVG. That means instead of like your usual GIFs or MP4s, it's infinitely scalable. And because they're SVG based, it's very easy to edit them as well, especially with some of the tools that we'll be showing you in just a bit. So this is the comparison between what the raw JSON or Lottie file looks like. So it's JSON based, and .lottie eventually became like a more optimized version of it. And all of this code is actually your cute little tiger. Some of us here, savants of CSS, may be kind of familiar with this when you're playing around with CSS animations and the like, so it's not too much different. And the good news is you don't ever have to look too deeply into the code unless you really want to. because of how motion is integrated into everyday lives now, you see that all of these brands, these are just some of the 9 million plus users and hundreds and thousands of companies that use Lottie's in their platforms. So you see it on Google, you see it on your Samsung watches, and our very favorite Duolingo with the little birdie threatening you to keep your streak up. And we also want to talk about the size as well, right? So the reason why we want to use Lottie's as well is because they're extremely optimized for your websites and for Webflow developers. We know how optimization is kind of a bit of a challenge. So let's play a little game here. On the left is a GIF or a PNG sequence, and they are 66 kilobytes and 198 kilobytes. Small, but it could be smaller. Try to guess on the right, which is a Lottie animation, how big this animation is.
Drop your guesses in the chat. I'm gonna say 8 kilobytes.
Yeah.
16. Lauren says 16. 10.
Yes, good guess.
10. Another 10. 5. Andrea says 5.
Yeah.
Maybe she's used Lottie.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, a lot of you here are kind of like Lottie veterans, so okay, I didn't do this correctly, but it actually ended up being how many kilobytes again, Yamin?
5. 5 for the win. 5 for the win.
5.
Oh,
The
5.
total.
Andrea gets a LottieFiles sticker from me. Awesome.
Very nice. Good job, Andrea. Good job, everybody. Thank you so much for participating in that little game. But yes,
Yeah.
so
You can
Lottie's.
optimize it to 3.9 KB. Just putting out there. No.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
all right. Let's not brag too much. 5 is good.
Yeah. So back then, when we want to do animations, it could be a bit of a pain, but today we have Bob Ross and Moose. Both are happy, right? As a designer and a developer, which I know a lot of you are, wearing all of these different hats, you'll be very happy to know that LottieFiles is made for you. We have an entire ecosystem where we have you make it very, very easy for you to access your files from anywhere. So for example, you created something in Figma, you can then access it directly from Webflow without having to do the whole download and re-upload game, unless you want to. You can also make quick edits on the fly, and then of course use whatever it is that you feel most comfortable with. We've got animators that use After Effects. We've got animators that just use Figma, and Celcea is going to show you really quickly later on how much you can do with Figma and create little websites there. This is just a quick overview of where LottieFiles is at the moment. So I think I remember it was like, no, this is like a more local thing, but there was this ad that says like, I will follow you everywhere, and we've done our best to achieve that. But again, if there are any platforms and stuff like that that you would like to see LottieFiles on, let us know. But essentially, yeah, like I said, you can animate with your favorite design tools. You can access your designs from all of these different places. And
Oh, Canva as
that's,
well. Didn't know that.
yeah, yes, we do have our animations, the library of public animations on Canva as well. So in case some of you don't know yet, there's this amazing massive library of free animations that you can use and download for absolutely free. And you can also download them and make little tweaks to them. You can recolor them, all of that good stuff. You can explore a little bit more, but we're going to show you. So I'm going to pause right here because Celcea and Kenneth here are going to show you the actual magic. So I'm going to stop yapping. I'm going to pass the mic off to the both of them to show you how to make something like this. Super duper easy. I know we only have around 15 minutes left, but we
Don't
will be
worry,
able
probably
to
more
add
than that.
yeah,
Yeah, you can take more than that. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah. But okay. So you know what LottieFiles is, you know where we are, and you know what the tools are, and you know um, where you can access it. Now let's Celcea, to start with, show you how to create some really cool animations using Figma with our plugin.
Amazing. I love it. I can't wait. I've seen such good work on LinkedIn and other social media being shared. I don't know if you know Bijay. He's one of my favorite like illustrators that creates sort of animations and illustrations using Figma. And I'm trying to learn like how does he do it? Just like so cool to see. Um, yeah.
Mm. Yeah, so we gonna go to Figma. If you are in front of your computer, get ready because we're gonna send a link where you can join and then we can, just have fun and try this together.
Oh, nice.
But before that, I'll just give like a very brief introduction on what is our Figma to Lottie plugin can do, and yeah, what are the possibilities that you can create with like from simple animation to something that's a bit more complex with components. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna start here. I think everyone here is quite familiar in using Figma. So if you go to your plugin, just run LottieFiles. And we have these 4 different tabs. So if you are noticing, like this animation keep changing like almost every day because these are free animations that's uploaded to our LottieFiles.com community animation. And then this is the workspace. Workspace is like, let's think of it as like a Google Drive of your animation. It's where you store your motion animation projects. That's where all your colleagues can also access it. I'm going to touch a bit more on this after this workshop. And then export to Lottie this is where the magic gonna happen. That's where we're gonna export our visual, one single frame, multiple frames, a bit more advanced, anything we do it here. And import is where you can drag and drop your animation to insert it into your Figma file. The file can be Lottie.json or .lottie. All right, let's start with a single frame. So what you need to do, let's say I'm a visual designer. I have this single frame of visual. I want to animate it. How am I going to do it with the LottieFiles plugin? Okay, I'm going to click on this frame and I can just click export to Lottie. And we actually have so many animation preset that you can choose from squat and stretch. You have a rotate, you have a pulse. I think pulse is probably the best suited for this visual. And here we also have an animation speed control where if you think like, oh, this is a bit too slow, I want to make it a bit faster. So you can click on here, or you can double click and then get like half speed of the original one. And also you can change the background color. And then after that, you can save to workspace or insert as GIF. Let's go to the second one. For best result, this one, you can try a trim path. Why? Because I want this to be animated as though this is, it's like, the line is coming in from the bottom to the top.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so if I click on this, oops. All right, but this is not working. Like, why? So for
Always.
trim path, yeah, it's always like that. So for trim path, if this is the case, it means that you have already outlined your line. So that's not going to work. What's going to work is that, let's say I'm creating I want to have, let's change it to black. I'm not going to recreate this because it's going to take a bit of time, just for all of you to get that this going to work with the trim path following the line. So if we click on the frame. So the visual needs to be inside the frame. It cannot be outside because the plugin won't read it. So this is squash and stretch, this is rotate, and then this is trim path. So that's what gonna happen when you choose trim path and your visual is still a line, not a path. So yeah, that's like a bit of a tips and trick as well, because sometimes we have this, it looks like a line, but it's actually not. So that's not gonna work. Yeah. So you have to bring back the line file of these. I forgot where I put it. So, sorry, my ugly hello handwriting here.
No, it's quite good, quite impressive with the mouse.
Oh yeah, like I guess at some point our hands kind of glued with the mouse now.
Yep.
All right, so for the next one, let's say that we already have like an idea of, I want to animate this 3 colors from the top going down, following these grids, right? I can just actually create one frame and then I copy it and then copy it again and then change the color for the second and the third row. And what I can do is that I can just multi-select on these 3, and remember it has to be within the frame. So you click export to Lottie and then it will already animate it for you. So you don't need to do anything. You just need to think of it as like a frame by frame animation. You know how it starts, the first frame, and then how it's gonna move on the second frame, and then the third frame how it ends.
Yeah, it's a little bit similar to, I guess, if you're using Figma to prototype and you do smart animates, you're kind of expecting the behavior of the frame that you're trying to smart animate. And so this is kind of similar, but obviously with different elements and not with the whole frame.
Yeah, correct. We're gonna touch a bit more on the prototype below. And yeah, actually it's here. So if you're familiar with the prototype, like what Claudia mentioned, there is these 2 tabs here on Figma, which is design and then prototype. So if you're wondering like where is the arrow, why I can't see it, it's that you need to click on the prototype. So what happened here is that I want to make an animation of this flower consistent from the first frame to the second, second to the third to the fourth. I want the speed to be the same. So I was applying the same setting. You can change like on click, on drag, after delay. I want it after delay, and then it's easy in 600, and I'll keep it the same throughout these frames. So this is the same, also 600. Or if let's say you prefer it to be like move in or move out, or even like a custom bezier, up to you. There are like so much flexibility in this, until like what Claudia mentioned, like some of the illustrator were just like utilizing it in a way that sometimes we even the one who worked at LottieFiles, we didn't imagine that could happen.
Yeah, and Anshul as well, who was one of our past guest speakers, he's also like he's shown a few things that he does with it, and yeah, it's mind blowing, the creativity that can come out of these tools.
Yes, I agree. So yeah, we really encourage everyone here to try it out and just to fit in whatever animation that you want to create, because it's such a powerful tool, but it needs more people to try so that we can see the magic of it. Yeah, so I was applying this same setting for all of it, but then the only difference on this frame that you're registering using the prototype is that you need to click on the prototype flow over here instead of clicking export to Lottie at the top. So in here, I already named it as flower 1. So this is how it's gonna look like.
Nice.
Yeah. So the speed of like the first to the second to the third to the fourth is the same, because I keep it as 600. But let's say like, I want it to be like a bit faster on the first to the second. You can reduce the number, or you can increase the number if you want it to be slower. So yeah, I think most of you are already here. We're gonna make like a very, very simple and quick toggle animation.
Nice. I love a little bit of interaction, with and I'm sure that everyone who's watching and the Floxies in the room would like to get their hands dirty.
Yeah, and feel free to, like change the color, make the toggle animation in colors that you like. Yeah, feel free to copy one of these. I think I created enough. Yes. If
Yeah.
not, you can just copy and paste and just put your name and your social handles. And then you can copy this frame or you can recreate your own frame. Feel free to do so. But what I want to explain a bit here is that if you notice that the speed, like it stays a bit on the first frame before it moves to the right, to the green one,
Mm-hmm.
right, to the second frame. What I use here, it's after delay, and I put at 800 seconds, so that's duration that it's gonna stay on the first frame, because I want it to stay, and then the toggle move to the right. And then the movement, I want it to be 500 millisecond. But then in reverse, if I want it to go back to the gray one with the same after delay, but a faster ease out. So I put a 100 of ease out. So yeah, you can also play around with your toggle. If you want it to be like just blinking very fast or you want it to be very slow, feel free to try. And we are here, like I think Ken also here, Beatrice also here, Yamin is also here. Feel free to, like chat, go near our cursor and then chat with us.
Right, let's see. Let's have a look. I can see some people are already dropping their names. Hello, hello, chatting. I'm also just going to share the link again for the audience. So if you're watching on YouTube or LinkedIn and Twitter, you'll get a link in the chat. Let me just share that again. And yeah, come and interact, come and design. So let me have a look. Who's here? Beatrice, Claudia, Yamin, Juanita is doing it awesome. So
Hello, Beatrice.
first steps, right? We have to kind of copy
Yeah.
these two frames. Okay. I'm gonna try and do this also whilst keeping the stream going. Awesome. Okay, and I want to change the color.
And there is also one small trick that sometimes happen when you want to create animation with transparent background. Let's say I'll put transparent background on these and I will delete the prototype and we're gonna redo it. Sometimes when we're about to string from here to here, we often mistaken to string from the object. So that's not gonna work because we need to make sure that it's stringing from frame to frame, not an object to a frame.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So after we copy the elements, the two frames, do we have to run the plugin?
Yes, we do need to run the plugin.
Run the plugin.
So let's say I'm copying these.
Yeah, it'd be good to.
Yeah, let's say I'm copying this and I will just delete the prototype because I want to
Yeah, because we
recreate it.
don't see it on our end. Yeah.
Yeah. So you delete the prototype and then also don't forget to just clear the starting point. So you start clear from an empty, like no string, no starting point on these frames. And then click on the plugin, click on LottieFiles. And there are these four tabs, sorry, on top.
Mm-hmm.
Choose the third one, export to Lottie. Oh, sorry, you have to string it first. Yes, from here to here. I don't want it bouncy. I want it actually after delay, ease in, 500 after delay, 800. And then from here back, again, also after delay, but I want it 100. And then I click this as a starting point. So now we already have a name of this animation called Flow 11. You can also change this toggle gray. So what you see here, oh, I think you can't see it, right? There is a drop down menu.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
Okay, so if you see there's like house one, flower one, flow one, flow three. So sometimes when you're working in like a collaborative environment with your coworkers,
Oh, yeah, no, I don't see
be
that.
very
Yeah.
mindful on the
Yeah.
name. Yes, yes. Because sometimes, yeah, if you have two frames with the same name, and both are stringed as an animation, that might disrupt the export to a Lottie.
Mm-hmm.
Toggle gray. And yeah, we have it here.
Nice. And then save to workspace to save it there.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. Cool. Nice. I can see. Let's have a look at some of these beautiful gradients.
Yeah. Hi,
Drew,
Rebecca. Let's
Juanita.
try.
So let me see. Maybe we can also help. Oh, okay, I can see now that you've put them together. Nice. Yamming showing off with a, what is that, a tennis ball?
I think Yamin has created like over 20 fun toggles.
Oh, I love that one from Lauren. That's, the typical moon to sun. I can never get tired of seeing that. So if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see it. It's just down here. Lauren Stanton. Nasra, good work. I like a solid black to an orange. Ken, really low. So Ken's got one step ahead. He's gone to having a small cursor to then making it bigger, sort of like an eye. Really good, really nice. Yeah,
Oh,
it'd be good to see them all, Celcea, as well. If you want to maybe make
yeah,
be good to show on the stream what everyone is working on.
yeah. Can you see it now? This is from
Um,
Nasra.
no, I can see your preview. Yeah, I can see Nashra. Yeah, I can see Nashra.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's a bit delayed.
Yeah.
Okay, this is also a common problem. If the path that we are using on the first frame and the second frame is not the same. So we need to like, let's say, how do I say this? Like a reverse engineer it. Meaning like if we want to have 5 paths in our animation at the end of the frame, we have to include it on the first frame. And then you either play with the opacity or like the mask. So in this case, I don't know, maybe the path were recreated here, so it's not existence on the first frame, or it has been flipped, or it has been treated differently. Let's try, I will just try to recreate NASA's. Or maybe you can unmute Nasra, if that's correct, the case. Let's try these out of 100. I'll just follow your
Yeah.
setting. These are on click on after delay at 100. Right.
Yeah. Beatrice says, I recommend renaming your frame names for easier organization. Yeah. Name conventions
Yeah.
is always good, whether you're designing or creating animation or anything.
Yes. I think it might be the number as well.
And another tip here is to make sure that all elements in your animations are present in all of the frames. That's what Celcea was explaining as well.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want something to not be in a particular frame, so for example, some stars that appear in the second frame, but not in the first frame,
Yeah.
you'll just want the opacity instead of deleting them from that first frame. That way
Absolutely.
that way your animations don't get glitchy.
Yeah,
Don't
they
look
have to match. So think when you're like mapping fields, if you're using your what's it called? CMS. I always get confused with CMS and CRM, but think about your CMS when you're mapping fields. It has to match. So yeah, absolutely. If you're trying to make something magically appear, you have to go from a status of being transparent to then being opacity 100. You can't just magically make it happen, because if you think about the code behind this, basically the plugin won't just write the code for you. You have to think of, okay, I'm moving from object A and this object is changing into B. But it doesn't just get created, it's a change. Awesome. I was wondering, Celcea, maybe if you zoom out, we can have a look at all the things. Yeah, good. That'd be nice. Look at that. It's nice to see all the people collaborating. I always love looking at a Figma file with lots of people in it. Good work, everyone. Gabriella, what are you making, Gabriella? You're making a bunch of them. Juanita. Lovely work. We can spend lots of time here. Oh, Melissa is also creating. Yeah. We need to have a whole series based on how to create illustrations in Figma and animate them in LottieFiles.
We'd love that.
Yeah.
Awesome. And I guess this is part of the creation step, right, of our talk today. And so how do we move from creating these beautiful animations in Figma into then translating it into an actual website? So how do we move them into Webflow, for example?
Okay, so I'll close the plugin first. You can also have a read here on a bit more complex animation. These are using components. So do we have much time left to go
Yeah,
through this?
we got about 20 minutes. So let's just leave like maybe 5 for Q&A, but yeah.
All right. Okay. Because Ken will need a bit of time to explain Webflow as well. So I'm just gonna explain really quickly here. So let's say I want to have an animation of this house that containing actually 3 different little animation. One is the house, second is the wave on the back of the house, and the third is the sun. So what I'm gonna do is show you first how it looked like. So the house animation is gonna look like this. But this is consisting 3 different animation, and how we're gonna make that is the same as what we did with the toggle, but instead of having them all 3 together, I want to have all 3 to have a different speed, different treatment in the animation, so that I created 3 sets of animation, and before I'm stringing them, I create them as a multivariant, and after that I will combine them together in this frame and then create a prototype flow, and that's how we have this animation. So this is something that's a bit more complex, but don't worry, we have all the explanation here. And if you go to our Figma to Lottie community file, you can also find this exact file where you can, that's from Beatrice. Thank you so much for doing this. We have exact same visual where you can copy and paste and just try it and use it. And then I will move on to the next visual where we're gonna show how you're gonna implement it to Webflow. So here we have this really cute landing page that Ken already did. It's for the daycare for kids. And then we have this bear, and we had an idea of, hey, let's make this bear interactive, meaning when you hover on the bear, like the bear kind of following your cursor, right? So how are we going to do this? And then after I discussed with Ken, he was like, hey, actually, it's easier to have two different animation. So first one is the body, and the second one is his facial expression. Okay, so let's make it really quick using Figma to Lottie. Ken has this visual, and we just want to make the bear is kind of like, breathing. So the first one that we have, we didn't even string this because we just want it to be very simple. So we create these 3 frames and then select it, bear body 2, bear body 3, export to Lottie. And now we already have this body is like, it's like breathing bear. That's the first animation he needs. And then the second one is the facial expression. Same, we don't need to string it because it's fairly simple. We have this face of the bear.
So when you say that you don't
animation.
need to string it, how do you put them together?
We just need to think of it as creating a frame by frame animation. So I have this frame, let's say, and then I want it to move to the middle, so that I just move every part of it to the part of the face, and then I have already in mind like what I want it to be as the end frame, and then I just select all of them, and then LottieFiles gonna animate it for you.
Okay.
Yeah, but again, as Beatrice mentioned, like all the elements has to be inside this inside the frame. So let's say I want to have
yeah, because right now I can see like there's 3 different frames, but yeah, but LottieFiles is putting them together without going into prototype in Figma, basically. And
exactly, yes. So let's say I want to have this black dot here, and then I actually want it only in the second frame, but on the first frame I will just put it as 0 as in opacity over here, and then on the second frame I keep it as 100, and I don't want it to be appear on the third frame anymore. But if you see if you see it here, it seems like the black dot was not actually appearing, right? But actually it is there, but the opacity is 0. So if we try to export this one, let's see what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I wonder if export. Yeah, because exports makes me think of I'm going to download this.
Oh yeah, not yet.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah, we have one more step that. Sorry, I'm just gonna show you here. We're gonna bring you to workspace, and after that, Ken gonna take over and bring us to Webflow.
Perfect.
So from here, export to Lottie, and then we're gonna save to workspace. We have this workflow.co. That's our internal company that we do for workshop. Figma to Lottie workshop. I'll put it here and I click save. Then I'll bring you to our platform.
Also, just a quick note there, the little download button that you see right next to Save to Workspace is how you can then download your file straight to your device if you want to. But here's another way to do it as well. It's a very, very new feature that literally came out like 2 weeks ago.
Nice.
Okay, so what is our platform gonna do? So here is my workspace, and these are all the folders that we're working on as a team. And then we have this Figma to Lottie workshop, and this is the bear, 2 of the animation that I'm gonna give it to Ken. But I'm gonna give like very quick 2 minutes explanation of what you can do actually here. So the first thing and the best thing that all of us love is the commenting. So this is actually a perfect space for you to collaborate when you create an animation, because you won't create animation alone. You have your visual designer, motion designers, product designers, like 3, 4 people that works together to make this animation look good and works well and serve your product. And you don't need to, like screenshot and then put in like a frame 44. Can we change the nose? It's gonna take you so much time. Here I can just say like, hey, let's make the nose red like a reindeer. And I can just tag Beatrice. Wait.
That's for your very annoying clients. Do not send this file to a client.
I know.
Don't give them that power.
Instead,
This is a safe space for you and your team.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, I can just tag Beatrice or Yamin over here, and then on the exact timestamp, because sometimes we just want to change in that one specific second or 2 seconds. So that's really helpful. And the second one is that animation information. This is where actually this really helps my job personally at LottieFiles, because we have so many animations that park in our platform, and we want to know what is this animation served for. So you can put like, oh, this animation has been shipped on this page, or like the tags of like, oh, this for marketing, is this for branding, or is this for any other uses? And even the source file, because sometimes your colleagues were on leave and you need a source file. Where can I get this? This is where you can get it. And then also color palette is where you can change it immediately. So we have a preset palettes where you can choose from, or you can also add your own palettes over here. And segments and mockup is like, if you want to mock it up on the page, for instance, you can just click on the mockup, insert your JPG file, and then you can already see your mockup together with the animation. Version history is where, let's say, the client wants it to be as red as reindeer, and then he doesn't want it anymore. He wants the original version. Don't worry, you have the original version over here. And last but not least is the download and export, is where you can download in multiple format. And also, yeah, it's 1.4 KB. I'm bragging now, but it is very small.
We need them small.
Yeah, and yeah, you can also edit animation that we're gonna touch a bit more if we have time later. But the most important thing is Ken needs this, because I need to hand off this file now to Ken to make it live.
And that's a
so that
very
other people.
important step. How do you
Yes.
hand off this to a
Yeah.
developer?
Yeah. So when I want to hand off this to developers, I need to click on this toggle to enable the asset link. It's loading. All right. And as you can see, you can hand off any version you want. You have version 1, 2, 3, or the original version, because we only have one version on here. It's only current version, but if you have more, it will be in your drop-down menu. And then the asset link format, you can even choose from JSON, and you can even see the file over here. So you have flexibility to choose based on which one that suitable for your stack. And then you have the asset link here. That's when this gonna be useful for Ken. And then embed HTML over here that you can also directly copy, or embed URL here. For now, I've been using this for pitch. Like, we have animation in our presentation and we've been using this, and those are lotties inside. And these are how you implement this animation on iOS, Android, Wix, etc. And if you need a quick links for the integration and plugin, you can also here. Yeah, Beatrice, please add up.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt, but
I love that you raised your hand.
Probably should like brush up on my manners a little bit this time around. But in any case, while the platform is extremely useful for especially really large teams, I also want to share the good news that you can do a lot of these things, like hand off and embed and all of that good stuff within Figma itself. because we have Figma, LottieFiles for Figma Dev Mode, which is an extension specifically for Dev Mode, and it's supported in Visual Studio Code as well. So if you open up the Figma plugin in Visual Studio Code and then open up the LottieFiles for Figma Dev Mode plugin in Figma in Visual Studio Code, you can access all of your hand of embed code there. And also on Webflow, later on, Ken's going to show you, this has been saved to our workspace, our shared workspace, right? So when Ken actually accesses it from the workspace, you don't have to explicitly turn on the handoff and embed toggle that Celcea showed you earlier. It'll be automatically turned on for you when you decide to insert your animation into Webflow. So you don't have to worry about that. Actually, also the mechanism behind the Webflow insertion is that we will upload a copy of your animation into your Webflow library. So there's no course issue with Webflow. So it'll play really, really nicely for you as well.
Awesome. Great. And just for just let you know, guys, we have about 8 minutes left.
All right, I'm done. I'll just hand it over to Ken. Yeah, I'll just usually copy this link on the top and then send it over to Ken. Then he can grab everything from here. Ken, over
Thank
to
you so
you.
much, Celcea. That was awesome. Ken, lights on.
Yes, we go.
Can implement in 8 minutes, Can.
Yes, okay. Yes, from here, if you see my screen, I already have some of the Lottie elements in here, and I want to put our bear head and the face. And from here, we can go click from our apps or plugin. We can search LottieFiles for Webflow. We can click launch, and then from here, from our apps, we can go to workspace, and from here we can go to workflow info, our company, and then we go to Figma to Lottie Workshop, the folder where starts to store the animation. And from here, we can pick this one, insert. Oh yeah, I need to select the destination
Yes, we have
first.
to select an element first because otherwise we don't know where the animation is supposed to go.
Yes, and then after this one, we can add another one, this one. So yeah, for this, let's adjust it a little quick.
So just to recap quickly, you've created a div in Webflow, then you ran the plugin and inserted the image inside of that div.
Yes, that
Okay.
one. Okay. Yeah, after store that in one same div, let's change the placement for the Lottie animation. This one change into absolute.
Mm-hmm.
The bare body, let's change the position into absolute, and then change the size. We can see that the placement is um, flip, right. The body should be on the back of the face. So yeah, let's deal with that. We can adjust the z index. So let's say x-axis is something related with a horizontal, and y-axis vertical, and z is related with depth. So for this one, we can give value to the z index. Let's say the bare body is 1. So to get the face in front of the body, we can change that into higher number, which
Mm-hmm.
is 2. Yes, and we already get the placement right. And then for the size, we can change in here. Let's say we already have this as a parent, and from here we can change the bare body into let's say 36% of the body. Yes, okay, 80%. And then from here we can change the height into auto, and from here we can do the math. Let's say is this one is 80%, and the parent is 100%. Then we can have, then to place it on the center, we can have this one 10%, and the left one 10% as well. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I will place it here. And since I also want to put the body on the bottom, I can just change this into 0. So yeah, it's placed on the bottom. This one is done, and then we can go with the face. For the face, I'm thinking of having this to be 36. The height we can set to auto, and from here, um, let's change the placement. Oh, okay, sorry. uh, let's say if this one is 36, we can see the difference, and then divide that by 2, and from that I get the number 32%, and it is placed on the center. And to put that, um, let's put this at 0%, and then try to, you know, do the optical.
Eyeball it.
Yes, eyeball it. Yeah, and then from here we can play, and yeah, it's good.
No, that's so
And
cool. So the
mm,
one that you showed us was following the cursor or was just the animation? Because I was really curious to see if that was just following the cursor, because it looked as if it was following the cursor, and I was like, oh, how do you do that?
yes, that's the most interesting part, and we are going there. And from here, we can go select interaction, and you can see that we have element trigger and page trigger. Oops, let's delete this and forget that this ever created. And then from here, we can click plus and pick sorry, mouse move in viewport. And from here, the action, we can select play mouse animation, and we can create a new animation. And from here, we can see that this is what happened when the cursor moving from x axis, meaning like horizontally, like if this one is 0%, it's on our very left, and 100% is on our very right. Same goes with the y action. 0% is for the top, 100% is for the bottom. And from here, change we can select what we want to change. In this case, let's play with the face. When it's on the very left, let's change the x-axis or the horizontal placement into, let's put it maybe at 20 pixel. And for when the cursor is um, position on the very right, we can change that into 20 pixels. So yeah, let's just do a live preview. It already follow. And then aside from that, we can also add the Lottie animation. So yeah, we already create the animation where the first state, it will um, the face will be facing on the left, and um, in the end of the animation, the face will be um, facing to the right, something like this. So yeah, we already have the animation. To make it more believable, let's add another move transition for the body. Oh, my bad. Oops. Okay, those things happen. And then we can change the what we want to animate, and from here we can just move um, because we want to show a parallax animation where the object on the bottom move slightly slower. So yeah, let's just change this into -16, and then this one 16. Yeah, so yeah, let's just play this. I can follow.
And again, it'd be good
Uh,
to kind of name that one too, so that like their body
right.
is really clear.
Yes. Okay. The body and face is also following the x-axis. We can do the same with the y-axis. So in this, okay, let's just select the face,
Hmm.
Lottie, and then from here we can pick move, and
Yeah, Ken is on express mode right now. So
yes, let's pick the y into minus 24 pixel. It will be it will be moving on the top, and for 100% it will be moving into pixel, something like this. Or maybe we can just lower the number, something like this. And when we try to live preview, it already follow our cursor. And yeah, let's just click save. And from here we can, oops, we can press play, and we can see it already follow the cursor. But one thing that we missed to add is just to make sure every time when we put our Lottie animation, make sure that the animation is play on loop if we want to. In
Mm,
this case, I have intention to make the body dance for forever. So yeah, I set this to play in a loop.
yeah,
So
that's a good tip.
that's
Really
pretty much it.
awesome. That's really
Thank you.
great, and it's great to finally see, this plugin coming into action with Webflow. Absolutely great. So thank you for all the hard work and the time dedicated to this stream today to come and show us how it works. Really, really appreciate it. Um, I know that we're 2 minutes past our 3 minutes past our usual time. So unfortunately, we don't have time for our Q&A, but I do encourage everyone here to either send me the questions that you had for the stream, and we'll make sure to pass them over to the team at LottieFiles. But I'm also sure that we might see a few people joining the community. Maybe, I don't know. I can see maybe two people that could be a good member of our Floxies community. So um, by all means, feel free to stay and hang around if you want to. But I just wanted to say a big final thank you to the team at Lottie to being here today and for being here today and showing us the beauty of this tool and this plugin. So thank you all so much. And for everyone else here at Floxies, I will see you girls in our Discord, just like every other day. And I'll announce our next episode on Friday, as per usual. Where we like a routine, don't we? All right. Well, take care, everyone. Have a great rest of the week, and I'll see you very soon.
thank you
Bye.
guys for having us. Bye.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
so much.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.